All right, we're making some great progress on your journey to become a more knowledgeable and confident investor in opportunity zones. In this class, we're going to take a close look at due diligence as well as how you can vet your investment opportunities. So grab your favorite beverage, a pen and pad, and let's dig in. To start off, how do you, the investor, practice the prudent principle of performing due diligence in evaluating your OZ investment? First things first, QOF investments are offered only to accredited investors and only by PPM or private placement memorandum. We talked about the term accredited in Masterclass Video 1. The PPM is designed to be a very thorough and sometimes exhaustive resource about every single aspect of the OZ, including the terms, projections, risk, management structure, profit splits, timelines, cash flows, and other salient details which you should read carefully. If you're like most people, then some help or assistance in this area is usually welcomed, and this is where your QOZ advisor comes in. Most OZ investments are offered by broker-dealers and/or registered investment advisors. While it's possible for anyone to sponsor a QOF, the vast preponderance of American investors lack the experience, acumen, and history to develop some of the assets that we commonly see in QOFs. Assets like Class A apartment buildings with a total value north of $100 million, hotels, life science medical buildings, storage facilities, and the like are commonly offered in QOF funds, which would be out of reach for most smaller developers. Private placements and alternative investments, including DSTs and opportunity zones, are areas that require a high level of specialization. And so it's no surprise that most financial advisors do not offer these kinds of investments. The firms who do, such as ours, perform their own high-level due diligence and evaluation of not only the sponsors, but for each specific QOZ offering. Your advisor may also use third-party due diligence reports to determine if the firm wants to place a specific offering on its platform, therefore making it available to the firm's clients. Remember that your advisor's role is to bring each client OZ offerings that have already been vetted and only from sponsors who have been carefully vetted as well. Your advisor has a vested interest in your investments going well. The vetting and due diligence process does not eliminate the risk of investing in an OZ, but a meaningful due diligence process is designed to minimize the risk by eliminating certain offerings and their sponsors. Again, each investor is tasked with reading all of the disclosures and coming to their own conclusions about the viability of the investment for their own needs, goals, and objectives. A client recently commented on our process saying he was encouraged by the way we brought him a short list of what we believe to be our 4 to 5 best QOF investments, all with sponsors who would be considered to be credible and capable in the OZ space. I like to have a dialogue with each client about the track record and history of each sponsor, the asset classes being considered, and the high-level deal points of each offering. We may then schedule several Zoom meeting calls together with the sponsors for a deeper dive into the OZ performa, the timelines, the cash flow metrics, deal assumptions, exit strategy, and other pertinent aspects of the investment. I want every investor to have a very clear understanding of everything a prudent investor would want to consider in evaluating any private placement investment. Naturally, investors should be curious about examples of healthy track records and histories. One of the companies I work with is over 70 years old and has 13,000 employees in 150 offices around the world. They're an investment grade firm. They're one of only a handful of primary securities dealers to the Federal Reserve, and they keep $2 billion of cash on the balance sheet 365 days a year. They have a pristine name and reputation, and when I think of a substantial firm that I can be confident in and who's behind the investment offering, this is an example of the kind of company I would think of. The firm I'm speaking of is Cantor Fitzgerald, who lost 2/3 of their workforce on September 11th when they occupied the top 5 floors of the South Tower. Back then they had 900 employees and 600 died on that day. And the company's been rebuilt in an amazing way. And so when I'm saying that you and your advisor need to take a close look at the company's track record and history, these are the sorts of things that come to mind.